I divorced my wife because I thought she had given up on us. She stopped fighting, stopped pushing back, packed her bags the same night I asked for the divorce. No tears, no screaming, no begging. I told myself that proved I was right, that she was checked out too, that we were both ready to move on. 2 months later, I walked into a hospital and found out the real reason she never fought back. She had blood cancer, and she knew before she ever signed those papers. She let me go on purpose. If you've ever ended something and told yourself it was the right call, this story is going to sit with you for a long time. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and stay with me. Because this one, it doesn't just hit hard. It hits different. My name is Ryan. I'm 34. I work a regular office job, nothing that'll ever make headlines. And for 5 years, I was married to a woman named Sarah. I want you to understand something about Sarah before I tell you the rest of this story. She was not dramatic. She was not high maintenance. She didn't need a lot of noise or attention to be happy. She was just steady. The kind of steady that makes a house feel like a home. Coming home to her every night felt like exhaling after holding your breath all day. We had the plan, buy a house, start a family, build something together that actually meant something. For the first few years, we were right on track. Then the miscarriages happened. The first one nearly broke us. The second one finished the job. I want to be honest here, because it would be easy to make myself the villain of this story, and the truth is more complicated than that. We both shut down. Sarah went quiet. Not cold, not angry, just somewhere else behind her eyes. Like a light had dimmed. And me? I did what a lot of guys do when they don't know how to sit with pain. I ran from it. Longer hours at work. Coming home late. Nodding along in conversations I wasn't really present for. The distance between us kept growing, and I kept telling myself it would fix itself. It didn't fix itself. The fights got slower and more exhausting. Not loud, just draining. The kind of arguments where you stop even knowing what you're fighting about. You're just two people in pain trying to hand that pain to each other. And then one night in April, after one of those hollow, going-nowhere arguments, I said it. Maybe we should get a divorce. I remember the way she looked at me. She went very still. Didn't yell. Didn't cry. Just asked quietly, "You've already decided, haven't you?" And I nodded. She packed her bags that night. The divorce was filed and finalized faster than I expected. Honestly, faster than felt right. Almost like she wasn't surprised at all. Almost like she had already been prepared. I moved into a small apartment across town. Told myself this was growth. This was the mature decision. I ate takeout alone and watched movies by myself and tried to convince myself that the silence was peace and not just emptiness. 2 months passed like that. It was a regular Tuesday. Nothing special. My best friend Jake had just come out of surgery, so I drove over to Northwestern Memorial to check on him. Big hospital. Long, fluorescent-lit corridors. The kind of place where everybody looks like they're holding something heavy, and nobody makes eye contact. I was walking through the internal medicine wing, probably staring at my phone, when I felt it. I don't know how to explain this. You know how sometimes your body recognizes a person before your brain does? Like something just shifts in the air? That happened. And I looked up. She was sitting in a chair against the wall. Light blue hospital gown. For drip in her arm. And her hair. I noticed this immediately because she had always kept her hair long. Always. Her hair was cut short. Not a style choice. The kind of short that happens when something has been done to your body and the old things stop feeling like they matter. Her face was pale. Thin. She looked like someone who had been fighting something in secret for a very long time. I stopped walking. "Sarah." She looked up. There was a second, just 1 second, where she looked genuinely surprised. Then that familiar soft smile crossed her face. The same one that used to feel like home. "Ryan, what are you doing here?" My throat tightened. "What happened? Why are you here?" She looked away immediately. "Just some health stuff. They wanted to run a few tests." And I knew. After 5 years with this woman, I knew every note of every voice she used. That was her. "I'm hiding something to protect you" voice. Before I could push further, a nurse walked over with a clipboard and looked at me. "Are you family?" I hesitated. "I'm her ex-husband." The nurse nodded matter-of-factly. "Her chemotherapy starts today. The oncologist will be here shortly." The word hit me like a wall. "Chemotherapy?" The nurse looked confused. "You didn't know? She has blood cancer. She's been in treatment for several months." The floor dropped out from under me. I turned to Sarah. She was staring at her hands. "Why didn't you tell me?" My voice came out barely above a whisper. She was quiet for a long time, then barely audible. "I found out before the divorce. Before the divorce. Before the papers. Before the packed bags." Before she answered, "You've already decided, haven't you?" Without a single argument. She already knew. I felt something physically collapse inside my chest. "Sarah, why? Why didn't you say anything?" She finally looked at me. Her eyes were exhausted in a way I'd never seen before. Not sad, not angry. Just tired. The kind of tired that comes from carrying something alone for too long. "Because you were already drowning, Ryan." Her voice was steady, which somehow made it worse. The miscarriages. The distance. The way we'd stopped being able to reach each other. You were already spent. I could see it every time you walked through the door. I didn't want to be one more thing you had to survive. I couldn't speak. "The doctors said treatment could take years," she continued. "And there's no guarantee it works. I didn't want you sitting in waiting rooms out of obligation. I didn't want you staying because leaving would make you feel like a bad person." She gave that small, sad smile. "I wanted you to actually have a chance to be happy again. And that's when it landed." She wasn't giving up on the marriage. She was giving up her place in it, to protect me from what was coming. While she was staring down a cancer diagnosis. While she was alone. While I was across town eating takeout and watching movies and calling it moving on. She was protecting me. I don't have a word for what I felt in that moment. Shame doesn't cover it. Guilt doesn't cover it. It was something heavier. The realization that while I was congratulating myself for making a hard decision, she was making a harder one, quietly, for my sake. I got down on one knee in front of her chair. "Sarah, I made the biggest mistake of my life." She shook her head quickly. "Ryan, please don't do this." I took her hand. It was cold. "You went through all of this alone." And I walked away. Her eyes filled. "I want to come back," I told her. She looked genuinely shocked, like the possibility hadn't even occurred to her. "Ryan, you don't have to. I'm not doing it because I have to. Whatever comes next, the treatments, the hard days, the fear, I want to be there for it. I'm done running from the hard things." She started crying. Real crying. The kind that comes when someone you stopped expecting shows back up anyway. "We're not husband and wife anymore," she whispered. I looked at her and said, "Maybe not on paper, but in my heart, you still are." She squeezed my hand. And in that cold hospital corridor, 2 months after I thought our story was over, it quietly started again. You know what gets me about this story? There's no villain here. There's just two people who loved each other and couldn't figure out how to say the right thing at the right time. And one of them, when things got darkest, made a decision to carry the weight alone so the other one wouldn't have to. That's not a revenge story. That's not a karma story. That's something rarer. That's what it looks like when someone loves you more than they love being loved back. Sometimes the truth doesn't punish you with payback. It punishes you with clarity, showing you, right when it's almost too late, exactly what you almost lost forever. If this one hit you somewhere you weren't expecting, I get it. This one got me too. Hit that like button, drop a comment below. I want to know, have you ever found out the truth about a situation way too late? How did it change you? Subscribe for more stories like this. The ones that make you feel something real. I'll see you in the next one.